I look a little bit different in this video than for the rest of the video, but this is the mixed girl tag. I thought that this was so interesting. This is going to be my first chatty video, well, at least my first intentionally chatty video, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you want to see a little bit more of this kind of stuff from me. So without any more hesitation, let's go. I am half Thai. I think there's a little bit of Chinese in me. I am also a quarter Italian, an eighth Irish, and an eighth French. I don't know how I look Hawaiian, but I get Hawaiian, I get Japanese. I either look to people white or not white, or exactly half or Asian, and it's honestly, it changes with every single person I've met, but I think the general consensus is that I look mixed with something, which is probably why I decided to do this tag. My hair is a wavy, thick texture, if that makes sense. When I was young, I had this like triangle hair because my mom did not let me cut my hair or thin it because she thought that the thick, bush-like texture of my hair was so beautiful and she wished she could have it. In high school, I got this message from someone who I still have not figured out who it was. There was an application on Facebook back when you could have like tons of applications called Honesty Box, and I, as a teenager, decided to get it. And someone wrote a comment to me saying, "Why do you wear colored contacts and why do you have highlights in your hair? You are a beautiful Asian and you should behave like one." Okay, let me take issue with a few things there. First of all, just because I'm wearing colored contacts, which was all the rage back in 2005, doesn't really mean I'm trying to do anything. If anything, I think when I wore blue color contacts, I was just kind of trying to embrace my mixedness. Like, I wanted to look even more different, if that makes sense. Don't most kids try to look a bit different in high school? I remember I had a phase where I wore a black studded leather belt and I thought that I was so different. So isn't it something like that? Also, hair color. You want me to have black hair and you want me to have brown eyes because you think I'm Asian. Where I found the most challenging, like I was kind of put into a box. I liked doing the like cute peace sign things, but everyone did, and then I was called like Miss Asian in high school, and it was a real thing. Like when I ran for co-president, one of my campaign managers made my slogan "Rice is nice." I kind of went along with it because it got me votes and I became co-president, but I always saw something wrong with it, and I didn't really know how to tell people because nobody really understood what being half was. My brother and I both felt the effect of kind of not inheriting either whiteness or like Asian or otherness, other in comparison to white, and I just felt that I didn't really inherit either kind of lineage. I actually read a book that really opened my mind. I can't really get into the theory of it because it's a little bit, I read it in my last year of university. It's kind of complex, but basically the idea is from Sara Ahmed's Queer Phenomenology, and she is also mixed, and she speaks about her experience living in the UK as a mixed girl, and it really resonated with me, and it just clicked for me. She uses the idea of lines of distance and proximity, and I really felt that the lines that I inherited, like the bloodlines from both of my parents, I didn't fully inherit it, and I couldn't really extend through each line, if that makes sense. So it became sort of a failed inheritance, and here I am not really fitting into one place or the other. I am not considered a Thai person in Thailand. I'm considered a Farang, which means a foreigner, and I'm not considered white in North America. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle as a mixed girl. Everyone has challenges, but I think that the biggest challenges that I had were the family kind of situation that I grew up in. sort of having to pick between my mother and father all the time because they didn't really get along. And then also the just kind of environment that I was in geographically in Ottawa. People don't really, so much at the time, like in the 90s, nobody really knew why or how or what to do with a mixed girl. Automatically, because I was brought up in a space filled with kind of white North American objects and activities and people, I felt closer to all of that. No, not really. How do I say this without sounding terrible? In my own way, I feel that I was kind of pressured into categories, and that's where I was limited by other people, but I'm sure anybody who's different can be met with either positivity or negativity. Just, it's how people deal with themselves and their group and others. No, I haven't. My brother certainly has. And it's sad, honestly, that it happens, but I can understand why, because as you're younger and you're trying to grapple with, as I said, these two lines from your parents that you did not inherit fully, that you can't really extend into either kind of category or realm, you have to sort of make your own way. I always liked being different because I guess I consider myself a little bit weird, but I'm sure for a lot of people, like, I'm sure for a lot of people it would have been hard. The next questions are just kind of things that I've been repeating through this video, but I guess I'll just bring it on home. Having so many different cultures, first of all, makes you open to other cultures. My dad is the white one in my family, the one that's mixed with the Italian, Irish, and French, and he is totally into all the cuisines of the world. He has traveled most of the world, and he's just so open-minded. I've met people who are very happy, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but very happy being staying in Canada, staying in their neighborhood, or cooking the same food that their parents cooked, and just living in that way. And though I appreciate it and I see benefits to it and it's comforting, I really like this sort of adventurous type thing. Another thing that makes it beautiful is that I know 3 languages. Honestly, if I could have a superpower, it would be to know every single language, reading and writing and speaking, that ever existed on the face of this earth. All we do is think about who we are and what is our position and our proximity in relationship to other things, and feeling like you have a place that you can go to in more than one place in this world, I think is amazing. And I think that any other mixed person, or even someone who's not genetically mixed, having mixed identities, as in what you identify with, where you identify with, and whom you identify with, is just going to be a lot more common. And you don't have to be just genetically mixed to feel like you have different connections to different parts of the world. Take the negativity in stride, even if it's veiled negativity. As I said, it doesn't have to be someone teasing you for you to feel limited or for you to feel out of place. Take it not as something that reflects on you, but reflects on them. I know it sounds so corny, and I don't know how to not be corny, but that's what I recommend. So I'm back with a different makeup, and that got really intense, but I think it was important, and it was important for me to get that message out to the world. I thought this is an amazing tag, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. So thank you to Mason and Miles, one of my first subscribers ever, whom I also subscribe to. I'll also link her video in the description box below in case you want to check it out. And yeah, if you enjoyed seeing this type of video from me, just let me know by giving me a like or a comment down below. Also, if you really enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to me by clicking that red button below, and I would be so happy to make more videos for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!